Hey guys, it's Paul Jang. This is a review for MapRight, how we use it for our land business. I'm redoing this video because the audio was messed up, as well as like a couple other videos that I had scheduled for the future. So I'm redoing all of them. But this is MapRight. It's a software for seeing where your land is, road access, and some other details. So the cost for this I pay about like $100 a month, but there's a couple cheaper plans if you don't use every state. So I bought the one for every state, so it's cost me roughly $100 a month. So um, if we look, let's say there's multiple states. It's broken up within the software by state. So let's just choose one. Let's choose Colorado, and it's what you want to do is look at the top. So overall, I like MapRight a lot. In the past, I've used Parcel Facts. I think they've just combined some of their software, but I still think Parcel Fact is a little bit cheaper. My wife also uses Landglide. I tend to use MapRight. So we have a couple different places where we pick up, GPS coordinates, location, things like that. Oh, and I use priced as well. So multiple things that you can use in the beginning. Maybe consider MapRight. There's some cheaper stuff out there. You're gonna have to weigh out your cost. MapRight does have like a trial, so worst case scenario, you could just put in one email, use it for a week, and then just keep doing that until you're ready to subscribe. So we have here the address, the TRS, latitude, longitude. What we usually go with is the parcel. Sometimes we might go with owner name, but it's almost always the parcel ID. So let me show you what it looks like. So let's just say I have here Colorado land for sale. I'm doing the state of Colorado, but let's go. I usually like doing price per acre low to high. And let's just see if there's someone here um, who would have the APN. So land auction deals? I don't know. Let's see. Do they have the parcel number? No. I'm just trying to find an example here for you guys. Give me a second. Okay, so I got one. So this is DeBro's land. They have 80 acres. It's for sale for 40,000. Um, it's offering owner financing if you want. But if we look over here, the APN, that's the assessor's parcel number. I'm just going to copy that, put that in MapRight. So we're going to go parcel ID. This is Costilla County. And here we go. It's right now owned by William Raymer, 80 acres. So, I mean, this looks like either they bought it real quickly and it hasn't updated the system, or they have the property under contract of some sort. But if we look, it looks like there's a dirt path. So, looks like some kind of dirt path over here. And it looks like there's a dirt path over here. It's kind of small, but it looks like there's something there. Well, one thing that I'll look for a property is if there's access. So one of the cool features is if you look at this bottom right, it has the GPS coordinates. So let me copy that. And all you have to do is put it in Google and it'll show up the property. So sometimes Google will have the boundary lines. In this case, it looks like it doesn't. Right, so this is where that corner right of that property is. So look, that was like right here, right? kind of where that semicircle is, or half circle, right? So it looks like the property kind of goes like this, and there's a road here of some sort, but not a legal road. And so you will find people that are willing to purchase this as long as there's road access. I've sold property with that didn't have road access; it was landlocked. But generally, they're a little bit harder to sell. So, depending on what price you're gonna buy this at, it may or may not be worth getting, right? So, um, as long as you have the parcel ID number, either for due diligence when you're looking at land, or if you're looking to buy it yourself, from a landowner, checking to see if it has road access is one of the big reasons I use this. There's some additional information here. It says your acreage, parcel address, owner's address. I typically don't use any of this because I use a list sourcing software to pull data for me. They have the land value calculated, but it's usually off. Sometimes they may have a legal description, sometimes they won't. Now, one of the things that I do look for is if we click convert to map feature, one of the really cool features that I think is really good is to see if it's in wetlands. And you'll see that there's a creek of some sort. There's some water that runs through it sometimes. Usually, it looks like it's not all the time, but maybe in a rainy season there'll be water that streams through this property. You'll find that there's some places closer to the water where wetlands is really a big issue. And so, like for this, so if you see over here, let's say we wanted to pick up this property over here, LJ Farms LLC. You see how this is? Where'd it go? Oh, okay. Maybe I'll show you something here. So let's say we picked up this property, or we wanted something like this. We put in the parcel number. It shows up as Craig Souza. Well, there's wetlands over here, right? These are like non-title lands, and then over here, there's it looks like wetlands over here. So, if you were going to build on this, there's a road cutting through. It makes sense to build something here, right? Now you'll see sometimes that there's properties like this one over here where it's almost all right. Imagine this was like cut in half. This is all wetland. You'll find some places like this where you really have to be careful. You need to buy it right. If the majority of the properties in wetlands, you'll find that it's a little bit harder to sell unless you're just getting it like really cheap. So wetlands is like pretty big for me. You'll also see over here this little icon that says water wells, and you'll see if there's wells over here. So if there's a well over here and over here, well, this property, if we were going to dig dig into the dirt, you'll probably see some water wells, right, or access to water. So that's pretty big. There's some functions here with like soil and what type of soil it is. You can pull it up in reports. I tend to not do that. The big things that I'm really looking for, just to keep it simple, is does the property have road access, and is it in wetlands? Colorado doesn't have that as much, but places like Virginia, Florida, it might be like a bigger issue. Some of the coastal properties. So you'll want to check on that. So that's kind of how I use MapRight. You go back, you create a new map. You could save it. It's kind of set up for people that actually go on the property, and you put, if you ever got into land development and you put in like a fence, you could put a fence on your land, and you could kind of see what's up. So let me show you here. So like Florida. Overall, like I recommend MapRight. It's something that one of my virtual assistants is using pretty regularly to do some of my due diligence, like upfront. So I save money on my mailing costs. But yeah, like over here, you have here the Appalachian National Forest. So you'll find. let me just show you. If we scroll over to Crawfordville, assuming you don't Almost always, I'm going to do it with parcel ID. So, but let me just show you. Scroll in. Okay. I was wondering what was going on. It's my parcel boundaries were off. So if it goes off, you can't see anything. So I was like, what is going on here? Okay. So if you look, right, so every property has tax ID numbers. By the way, this is how I lost like $10,000. When I was going into tax auctions, they would give you the assessor's parcel number. And like if you could imagine, there's a property here, there's a house. They put the address of this property over here, 407 Emmett Whaley Road. And so I thought it was the house, but really, the tax auction I went to, this is a while ago. Behind this property over here was a little bit of land with a garage on it, and that's what they meant by the address. But if you look from here, look at this parcel ID number. Well, it changes. Like every single spot has a different parcel number, right? So I found that out, the hard way. So, yeah. So look, so some of the land watch people or not really Zillow, a lot of the land investors function using parcel IDs. I don't even know what county this is. Uh, I'm not sure which county this is, but if you put the county, put the APN number, it'll show up to this lot. So let me go over here to the map feature, show you again what it looks like. These are some of the different, you know, things that you could add on to your land. So if you built this land out and you wanted your house there, you put your house there, right? And you could lay that out. So overlays over here, I wanted to show you public lands. So wetlands, okay, so look, you see this property, Foxway Properties LLC, it's wetlands, right? So what it means is it could get flooded or get swampy. And so if you ever went to like the beach and you saw those pilings, it's like the basically wooden, rods that go into the ground to lift the property up. You'll see it like in, fancy houses, like on Netflix and stuff. You'll have to raise the property up in most cases, so that it doesn't damage the house, right? So, like automatically when I'm doing due diligence and it shows like, oh shoot, this isn't wetlands, I'm drastically gonna have to lower the price or not buy it, right? So that's something big that I never really looked at in the beginning. If you're gonna be choosing some of the cheaper lots, and then I wouldn't even bother with this. Just buy it so cheap that it doesn't even matter. Um, but if you're working with like some of the bigger lots, that could become an issue. So let's see here. This is the other thing I wanted to show you: public lands. So whenever you're advertising, I found that people want to live close to recreational things. So let me show you. So over here, this is the United States of America, U.S. government. This is all owned by the U.S. government. I think it's like some kind of park of some sort. So we have St. Mark's National Wildlife Refuge, and then we have U.S. government land over here. And so, that's something to consider. We have your Lake Ellen Swamp, right? And then what are the recreational things that you can do around this that people might be interested in? So you have like right over here, Coastal Big Bend will be another spot. Wakala State Forest, Edward Ball. So this is Bradwell Bay Wilderness. And it looks like there's some kind of park. So this is all recreational things that someone could get into. So it's like surrounded by like some pretty cool features. This body of water over here, the lake, as well as some forests. The wetlands is probably one of the big things that would deter me away from this. So that's kind of how I use it. Go over here, parcel ID, put the county name, and then the APN address, press go, and it'll take me there. If I'm just kind of browsing around in a certain area, I could just click on it. Just make sure that the parcel, boundaries are or on. It's like what happened before. But that's how I use it. Overall, I really like it. If you're just getting started, I'm not sure it's the best software there out for you, because it's a little bit more expensive. But that's MapRight. I do use it. So, over time, if you're going to be doing multiple lots, this might be a good option for you when you're ready to scale up. So, that's it. Take care. Have a good one. If you're interested in land investing, there is in the description our course, as well as some other stuff, our JV and our Facebook coaching stuff. If you ever need someone. But that's it. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.